Boom, and just like that, we are live once again. Welcome to the Monsterpreneur Minds podcast, episode 9. Moving right along, man. Been a hell of a journey, and shit, here we go again. My guest today is a brother that goes back with me probably
Seven, 8 years.
8 years back. I met him through the Bully Juice Tattoo Ink and Supply, and we connected. My man came into the shop, did his thing, and we'll get into his story on what he was doing before that. But it's a super pleasure to have him on the show. A very, very creative brother, one that has a very intensive art background, very outspoken. I believe a military veteran as
hmm
well. So we got some good stories for you today, and hopefully something clicks, man. So without further ado, let me introduce my man, Mr. Ro Vega,
How you doing, man? Thanks for having me.
owner of Enliven
Enliven Tattoos and Apparel.
Tattoos and Apparel. I always seen the name and I was like, damn, how do you pronounce that shit? Is it Enliven?
It's Long Eye. Enliven.
Enliven. All
Yeah.
right. What was the story behind the name?
My whole thing is I like inspiration. I like getting inspiration from a lot of places. I like being uh, ins- inspired, So the word enliven actually means to inspire.
Nice, nice. So, Ro, me and you, we go way back. Um, from my journey of starting a tattoo shop.
hmm
So let's go back even further and rewind the clock back. What got you into tattooing? Or let's just even start off before you decided you wanted to be a tattoo artist. What were you doing?
Uh, Before I started becoming a tattoo artist or learning how to become a tattoo artist, I started off. I had just got out of the military, so I was in the military doing the military thing. Did that for about 5, 6 years, and then got out. Was in between jobs, just trying to figure out what I was gonna do. I mean, I knew I wasn't going back home. The whole purpose of joining the military was to leave. You know what I'm saying, and get away from there.
Mm,
So I knew I wasn't going back home. So I was working for Capital One for like 3 months. Worst job ever. Hated it.
corp-
Hated it.
corporate America.
Corporate America, yeah. Screw that. And so I quit after like 3 months. I was like, I'm good with this. I'm done. Like I can't even do it no more. Then somebody had offered a tattoo artist that I've been going to. He had seen a lot of my work and a lot of stuff I had drawn up and brought in myself. You know, so I had a lot of my own designs, my own concepts, and everything like that. So after probably I'd say like maybe the third or fourth time he's tattooed me, he was talking to me and my ex at the time and outside and telling me that his apprentice was about to go overseas and become a contractor.
Mm,
So he was looking for another apprentice. So he asked me if I had a portfolio of my work, and I told him, of course, I don't throw my drawings away. You don't throw stuff you do after you put in your work and time on something. You know what I'm saying? That's original. So
hmm
I had a whole portfolio full of stuff. So he came over to the house. Long story short, we kicked it. He liked my portfolio, and then I started my apprenticeship within like 2 weeks, and then probably like 2 3 weeks later, I was tattooing.
Nice.
So it wasn't a very long process like a lot of older artists try to make it out to be or draw it out, as the hazing and the this and the that, you know what I'm saying, of the
Mm,
industry. So I was really fortunate. I picked it up really quick and was really good within the first year. All my mentors were like, "You're one of the best first year artists we've ever seen." So I just really took that and ran with it because I don't got no other skills other than hustling or going back to the military or this or that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it was a matter of just putting my all into it.
nice. So for most people that don't know a lot about the tattoo industry, right, or even behind the scenes, what goes through being an apprentice?
An apprentice, it depends on the kind of apprenticeship you get. You know what I'm saying? Like you can get an old school artist who you're in there cleaning his fucking dog shit out of his house, like washing his car. You know what I'm saying? Like some real hazing stuff. You know what I'm saying? But I was real fortunate enough to not have to do a lot of that. Um, I got right into a big shop. There's probably like 8 artists in the shop that I started in, two piercers and counter help. You know what I'm saying? So that's a good ass shop. That's a
Yep.
big shop. You know what
Yep.
I'm saying? A lot of moving parts, a lot of people doing different things. So I got thrown right amongst those, and I knew for it. A lot of people didn't like the fact that I was already in there. I was already like getting on scan and as fast as I was and things.
Mm,
But it is what it is. When you move at the pace you move, the rest of the world can't tell you nothing. You know what I mean? Especially when you're on point with whatever you're doing. I'm like a sponge, you just sit down and absorb as much knowledge as possible.
sure. So you were drawing a lot too.
I used to draw. I've been drawing since I was a little kid, like 6, 7 years old, probably. I ran up and bring my mom a drawing, first drawing ever. I think it was like Fred Flintstone or something like that. And she was like, "You didn't draw that. Let me see you draw it again." Pulled out
Mm.
another piece of paper, slapped it on the desk, bam. You know what I'm saying? Draw it again. You know what I'm saying? So sit there again, you know what I'm saying? A little weirdo kid just drawing and stuff. So give it back to you. So, oh snap, you really can draw. Like, and I guess my biological father had the ability to do that too. He could draw and stuff, was really talented as a kid or whatever. So it just got passed on along, I guess,
Nice. Passed on down to the genes.
Yeah, man. It's good genes. You can't help it.
That's what's up, man. So being in the apprenticeship, where was that at? Where
This was at this time I had just gotten out. Like I said, I got out of the military, and this was in Fort Hood, Texas. Um, and this was right down the street from the base. You know what I'm saying?
okay.
So this was in Killeen, Texas. It was a place called Jaded Dragon, and I had it. Well, the initial guy who had initially started teaching me, he and the manager went and opened up a different shop. And so when they were in the process of doing that, it happened like really fast though. Big commotion, big fight, the whole nine they had with the owners. And so it was like, man, I'm finna go do this. You could stay here and rock out if you want to, or you can come with us. Da 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 da. And I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't like really a big fan of his. You know what I'm saying? But he did good work, and business is business. Personal and business is separate. You know what I'm saying? So
Now
when
that
I
was
did,
who you were underneath.
yeah, that's who I was apprenticing underneath. And when I got the opportunity to like kind of dip off a little bit, I did. And the owner was like, "You can stay, but you got to really put in work. And if you ain't putting in work, then you got to go."
Mm,
So a lot of the couple of the other guys that were in there, the older guys, took me under their wing. You know what I'm saying? My boy Fester, my boy Felix, and my boy Sin were like three of the biggest influences and like mentors when I was in Texas, learning how to do all this. So they took to scoop me up real quick. We kicked it. We got along great. You know what I'm saying? I still talk to them till this day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Felix, on the other hand, God bless his soul, is a great dude. He passed away a long time ago.
mm,
But he was a phenomenal artist, man. This dude was like a superintendent and everything, but not to get away from the story. But
mhm.
I had good people. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? Like at the end of the day, I had good people in my life to help me mold me and be a better artist. You know what I'm saying? So
Super important.
right, right. You don't
Yeah.
got certain mentors and man and people who can help you along. Sometimes it's a little bit harder to achieve your dream, but just keep at it. You know what I mean? That's
Yeah.
all it's ever been.
Now, a lot of times with the tattoo industry, from what I heard, not everybody gets to be an apprentice. You know,
No,
what is the criteria for one who says, that, hey, maybe that might be my calling. I could draw, right? I can.
I I guess I would say like not everyone who can draw can tattoo.
Mhm.
Not everyone who can paint can draw. You know what I mean? So there are individual elements of things that you're doing that or different mediums, excuse me, that you can do and some you can't. You know what I mean? I'm not as good of a painter as I am as a pencil artist or a pen artist
Mhm.
or a tattooer. You know what I mean? So me, it's like I said, for me, it just came out of nowhere. But now that I've been doing it a long time, it's just something you're gonna have to feel honestly deep down in your soul that it's something you can do because I know a lot of self-taught artists and they're phenomenal. And then I know a bunch that should have stopped tattooing 10 years ago when they started. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I get people who ask me all the time, "Oh, can you teach me how to tattoo?" My first question, "Can you draw?"
Right.
No, not really. Well, then I can't teach you how to tattoo.
Sure. One you would think would go hand in hand.
They go hand in hand. You have to be some sort of artistic on one end to move into permanent artisticness. You know what I'm saying? Like
Sure.
this is a permanent thing. This is on you for life.
Now, is it things you can do that you can kind of learn that kind of artwork, like by looking at different pictures, seeing how they were shaded, or seeing, contrast and
Hmm.
all of that? I mean, is that something one can teach themselves?
I again, I think you have to have that artistic talent or eye at least before you can pick up something. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to read the blueprints before you can build a house. You know what
True.
I mean?
Hmm.
So it kind of like it falls in that category. You know, you can't fly before you can even run or walk. You know what I mean?
Sure.
So you got to crawl. So you got to get to it. It's a build up. And I think if you're really into it, it's going to take some practice and some time and some real dedication. And like anything else that comes with succeeding, it's hard work.
Yeah.
It's all hard work. A lot of people, just let me get a tattoo machine. Like back in the day, it was cool to have a tattoo machine and tattoo people. You know what I'm saying? In the '90s, bikers and that was like, it was like being a drug dealer. Back in the '90s, like you got that notoriety. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Whereas now you've got these
Scratchers.
scratchers coming out that want to be, oh, I'm good. No, you're not. You're just messing people up. I mean,
Mm.
I'm gonna go ahead and get paid for the cover up, but you know what I'm saying? Just stop. Like if you have no artistic background, just stop. Just don't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Uh,
It's not cool like that anymore, bro. There's too many people who like can do it. And then anybody you can order them online and all that. So
yeah.
anybody who tries to do it, just
Well,
stop.
we'll get into a little bit of that because you know me, I had some artistic background, and I used to draw a lot as a kid,
Hmm.
but that's totally different from putting ink on skin.
Absolutely.
Totally different. I
Absolutely.
mean, I thought it was something that I'd be able to pick up,
Mm.
from learning a lot of shit and just being teaching myself different things.
Hmm.
It was like, damn, that's like, yo, you gotta have that's a different person, that's able to do that. Not and mainly for one, because if you fuck up, that's it.
Hmm.
There ain't no
Hmm.
coming back from
Yeah,
that. It's
no.
a very hard fix.
For me, honestly, it's you're only as good as your last tattoo, man. Like if your last tattoo looks like shit, you fucking suck.
Yeah.
And I've had those days. I mean, everybody got good days, everybody got bad days. But the thing is, you keep at it, and especially when you know you're good at it, or when you're trying something new, or when you're working on evolving a new technique. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep at it.
Yeah.
A barber just doesn't stop because he just messes up one cut, or you got cut too much. All right, well, good thing for you to grow back. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But for us, it's like your skin ain't gonna grow
You
over it. It's
can't
not gonna
grow
get
that back.
yeah. You know what I mean?
Oh
It is what it is.
man.
I've seen so much horrible stuff, man. Oh.
So let's look at it like this. So let's run down the timeline. So you're in Texas, right? Got out the military,
Mm-hmm.
got a job apprenticing,
Mm-hmm.
right? Showed the portfolio. They like what they seen,
Mm-hmm.
put you under their wing. So you work there, and then what happens from there?
At, so we I was about a year and a half into my apprenticeship, or not into my apprenticeship, but a year and a half into the beginnings of my tattoo career, and decided to move to Tampa, Florida. Fuck it, let's go. You know what I'm saying?
Off a whim.
No, actually, my ex happened to be down here, so she wanted to come back this way. So you know what? So we moved back down. Hard as hell. Hard as hell. Never been here, no clients, no friends, no family, no nothing. Like she got all her peoples, you know what I'm saying? But I don't got nobody, you know what I
Mm,
mean? So it's a whole new thing for me, which doesn't really bother me, man. I don't mind being by myself or on my own doing anything, and that's never been something that's bothered me at all.
drive
So,
of an entrepreneur.
yeah, man, just got to go ahead and get it. And even then, I didn't realize what it was going to lead to as it has to this day. You know what I'm saying? I've never done nothing in my life as long as I've tattooed for.
Mm,
So this is 10 years. This is in 2009. I moved down here, you know, and then nobody would give me a job. Nobody.
really?
I'm going everywhere trying to get a job. And here I go from being a good, great young artist to just another wannabe, or at least that's the way, professionals are going to look at you. Oh, you just want to come through. Ah, da, da, da. You
Mm,
haven't been tattooing at least 5 years with a good portfolio. We won't even talk to you.
wow.
It's like, okay, all right, cool. Not that all of these artists out here were good though,
Hmm.
but I'm like, all right, so y'all are trash. I can't get a job. How the hell am I gonna fucking provide? You know? Well, my homeboy, who is my homeboy now, excuse me, um, gave me a job in the back of his barbershop. First time I ever heard that.
Hmm.
Barbershop and tattoos?
Back
So
what? So that so you're
this is
going
like
what? 2009.
2009, yeah, going
Okay.
into 2010. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So 2009, late 2009. Yep. So that's when I got down here. I got a job in the back of a barbershop. So I'm meeting people. I'm meeting people. You know what I'm saying? Left and right. Oh, you're a tattoo man. Oh, you tattoo man. Da, 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 da. Doing deals. I'm working a full-time job, 40 hours a week in the
Mm.
day. And then I'm going and tattooing in the evenings. You know what I'm saying?
Oh wow.
From like 6 to like midnight sometimes,
Hmm.
even later, and then turn around and getting up again at 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning to be at work by 8:30, 9 o'clock. You know what I mean? So gotta get it, gotta get it, gotta get it. So I finally get to meeting a lot of people through working a regular job, through the barber shop. Finally start getting a name out, start hooking people up, And then it's to a point where it's like, all right, it's time to grow. It's time to move on. We've got enough experience. Let's get up into a real shop. You know what I mean?
So you outgrew the barbershop.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. I felt like I had outgrown the barbershop. I had met and learned a lot about a lot of people, learned a lot about Florida, you know what I'm saying, in this area. And I really dug it, but I just had to find my own place in a spot, in a professional spot, you know what I'm saying? In a place that was more focused on just tattooing, not barbershop and tattooing, you know what I mean?
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. I've always found it strange, especially when that trend was starting to come about of having a tattoo slash barbershop.
mhm,
Just because the first thing that I drew to my mind was like, how sanitary can this really be?
exactly.
You
All
know?
that hair flying around and
Yeah.
like it was, yeah, that was another thing too, is like, you know what I'm saying? When you really get into it and you really think about it, I mean, it sounds ghetto,
Yeah.
unless it's a professional separated room with a door on it and the whole nine, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Because without that, it really isn't sanitary and you can't say it is, which like I said, it was a new idea to me. I ain't never heard of nothing like that, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, but again, like I said, I outgrew that. So it was just time to move on. So I went out looking for places, and some places still offer it, but just like no, 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 no.
Wow.
I remember, I'm not going to say no names, but I remember when one place opened up, and they were like three young artists from a whole another place. They opened their own place, and I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. We're all in the same age. Let me go over here and check it out. Go over there. No, we only got these three. Da 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 da. And they were just starting out, so I was like, okay, cool, whatever. You better keep an eye on them, and they all three of them grew into some good ass artists. I ain't gonna
Hmm.
lie to you, which is good to see. But for some, again, it takes longer than others. Your journey's not always the same. So I
Sure.
continued on mine, and then boom, I come across you. You know what I mean? And I come across you and Red and Jux, and it's like, you know what? This ain't too bad.
Mm.
This ain't too bad. I'm sure you remember, I came in there and you weren't even there actually. That one day I came in initially. I just talked to Red and it's like, all right, it's a couple of other young artists. They're actually from out here. Like Red's a Florida native, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Word.
So, and if you don't know Red, Red is a dope artist. Check him out.
Shout out
Tattoo
to
Red, my dude.
Tattoo R3D.
Yeah, yo, he did my whole helmet, man. The kid is he's a little prodigy, man, when it comes to the black and gray. Yo,
Yeah.
he's dope. But
So
yeah,
you
so
went right from the barbershop and then try to get another job somewhere else.
yeah, and they
And
wouldn't
then
have
you
me.
found this?
Yeah, and then I found y'all. I actually worked in another spot for like a month for this one dude. He owns like, or he had to at that time he had owned like two or three tattoo shops. Fucking dick, bro.
Mm.
Like just an asshole. Like this dude, and I'm telling y'all, be careful when you go get piercings. I'm telling you, these dudes is wilding out here, bro. He's gonna tell me, I need you. I'm the only one in the shop, okay? I'm the only one in this shop on this side of town, right? So I'm gonna need you to do piercings. What? I don't do fucking piercings, bro. What do you mean you need me to do piercings? I don't do that shit.
Right.
So he's like, yeah, man, I need you to look up some stuff, learn what you gotta learn, figure it out. And if anybody comes in, just pierce them.
Wow.
I don't have a lick of experience, dog.
That's crazy.
I don't know a navel from a septum at this point. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking to me about right now?
You
You want me
want
to
what
stab
pierce?
people? What?
Point at what
Yeah,
you
pointing
want.
at it. Like, I don't even know. So this dude's crazy. I'm like, bro, he's wild. And like, never in my life. Again, another thing I've never heard or seen before. Like,
Sure.
holy shit. And so, unfortunately, I tried to give it a try, you know.
Oh,
I mean, not like I hadn't pierced before. Don't get me wrong. I
yeah,
mean,
yeah,
I'm a young and dumb kid. I've done people's eyebrows before. I did my own nipple when I was a kid. You know, weird, stupid shit. You know,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
but I'm not trying to pierce nobody professionally.
Yeah, that's
Telling them that
paying
I know what
me.
I like. That's paying me. Hell no. Oh no, this is too serious for that. So
Wow.
that was a very short-lived time. That was about a month maybe, and then like I said, I come across you guys, and
So when you left Texas, so the timeline from Texas to when you found Bully Juice, what was that?
it's probably, let's see. So that was a year and a half. It's probably about 3 years.
Okay,
I've been tattooing about 3 years total so far.
because as you remember, I was I was totally green to
Yeah,
tattoos.
yeah,
I ain't know
yeah.
shit about tattooing. All I know is I
The
wanted
blind
to
leading the blind.
I wanted to own a shop, and these niggas seem like they're hungry. So let's give them let's give them a chair.
And that's what it boils down to, man. And it boils down to talent, will, and hunger.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? How bad do you want it? What are you willing to risk to get it? And how how continuous can you be? How on point can you stay? You know what I'm saying?
consistent.
Consistent, yes.
Yeah,
So how consistent can you be? You know, in all three of those. Those are the three that keep me going. You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
So
We had a good run over there.
we sure did. We sure did. We had a real good time, man. I learned a lot from Red. Learned a lot fucking with Jooks and everybody who came in there, man. You know,
Jix's work has been looking phenomenal.
Jooks is on point, man. Jooks is on point. Don't let the youngster and the baby face fool you. Yeah, Jooks
Yeah,
is on point. He's been doing it since about 16, I think, when he started his apprenticeship with
yeah.
y'all.
The motherfucker
16,
wanted to
17,
drop out of high school and
and
come
just tattoo
and
all
just
day.
tattoo,
Yeah.
and I was like, bro, you gotta go to school.
Right,
You
right.
can't just fucking come
See, now
here.
that's a kid who knew what he wanted his whole life. I didn't even know what I wanted to do in life. You know what I'm saying? I had no like goal, no like set skill, like other than being artistic. That was it. You know what I mean? But then, you know, as a kid, you always hear, "Oh, pay attention in school, don't draw." Oh, pay attention is good. If you paid as much attention to drawing as you do to school,
Yeah,
or vice versa, excuse
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm saying? That you'd be successful.
yeah, yeah,
But look at me now.
yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? Look at me now. Nothing has to be the way that the world has portrayed it. And but what I say what I mean when I say this is that just because schooling works for all these other people doesn't always mean it's going to work for you.
Sure,
You know, some of the most successful people have been dropouts.
most of them. Well, I can't say most of them,
A
but
I mean, let's look at one of the most successful men right now in the world, Bill Gates,
mm-hmm,
dropped out,
mm-hmm.
worth more than we can count. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Dude's got, but he's a genius though, so he has a certain skill set. You know, so I didn't know my skill set. You know, so when I got offered a tattoo, I was like, "Huh? You want me to tattoo?
Mm-hmm.
What? I never even thought about that shit." And then to find out that you're naturally good at it and you pick
Right.
it up smooth. When I got to y'all, man, I picked up so much. I picked up so much, and then after that, it was just like I really started to feel like I was on I was in the game. You know what I'm saying? I
Mm.
really started to feel like I was running down the field with the ball. You know,
That's
so
what's up,
at
man.
that point, it was like keep on keeping on, or let it go completely, and I wasn't feeling let it go.
Now, when somebody has that artistic skills, skill set like you talk about at an early age, what else were you trying to dabble in besides, because I'm sure at that age it wasn't like I want to be a tattoo artist. Were there other things that you were kind of looking at from the artistic field? Painting, graphics.
No, I mean the only thing I would say is like because I went to a tech school.
Okay.
So I did like a week of academics and then a week of technical schooling. So I did graphics as a kid. So I do know how to like I can run a printing press. I can run duplicated presses. We took photography, you know, Photoshop. You know, so I was already like my mom had made sure to help gear me towards a artistic background and learning something in that direction. You know, to help with that.
Mm,
So she definitely helped fuel it. Um, but you know, life gets to you. Like out of high school, I was running two printing presses. You know what I'm saying? So like for menus, so I'm printing one side of the menu on one side, and as it's coming out, boom, 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 I'm flipping it over, I'm putting it in the other press, and I'm running it through. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
And I'm doing this by myself,
sure.
and I'm like 18 doing this. You know what I'm saying? And they're like, "This kid is good," you know.
Mm,
But life hits. You're still adolescent, still a teenager, still learning about life. You still think, what I'm saying, you let your balls hang, you know what I mean? Like you just the shit. So, you get into trouble, you do this, you do that. Life, I got away from everything as far as art goes, join the military, fall back into it. So, when your path is, I wouldn't say my path is chosen for me, but when there's a certain path laid out for you, you can choose to take it or you can choose not to.
Sure.
You're gonna feel either it's gonna be a bit smoother on that path you're supposed to be on, or it's gonna be a hell of a lot rougher on that path you're not supposed to be on. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? But you only do it to yourself.
that's a good outlook. So when you so let's go through the journey after you left or as Bully Juice is going through, and that's where you're getting all your clout up
hmm
and
hmm
getting your name out
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah. Bully Juice definitely helped to get my name out there. Knowing Red definitely helped because I met a lot of his people and friends. He introduced me to a lot of like Tampa cats. You know what I mean? So that was good too. What happened after Bully Juice? What
Oh,
happened
so
after
I'll tell
Bully
you what
Juice?
happened. I called y'all from Rhode Island, and I told it was December. What was
Yeah, it
it
was
like?
right around Christmas.
It
Yeah,
was
New
right around
Year's.
Christmas, and I got the call from the landlord that was like, "We're not going to renew your lease next year." And I was
Yeah, I
like,
was out of town. I
"What?"
was back up north. Like, oh shit, I ain't got a job to go back to.
I'm like,
Fuck.
"Fuck a job to go back to." Talk about a whole business. Like,
Yeah,
okay, so how long do we have?
yeah,
Y'all are gonna need to be out by next month. What? As much as we did, I felt like we did so much just for. I don't, okay, so all right, I felt like we did a lot for the community. We gave people a home to go to, right, and to fit in and be normal,
yep,
right.
yep, yep.
Not to mention the parties we had, the little, the turkey giveaways. I mean,
Yeah, yeah. We did a couple big things
there's a
for
lot
the
of things
community
that,
as well. Yeah,
for somebody to turn around and say, we're not going to renew your lease next year, and you guys are going to have to be out of there. I was
yeah. But
trying to
they's
figure out why or
old
how
as
that
dirt.
came. You know
They's
how.
old as dirt. They didn't like us. We was too live.
Well, the thing is we'd be the only place at 3 in the morning
Still
on
open.
301 still open with the lights
hmm
on and 8 cars in the
Yeah,
in the damn
yeah.
parking lot.
But you know what? We was putting in work, man. And that's
I,
what thing. This tattoo work don't stop. We be running
so
till late, late.
so hopefully, right? And I don't want to toot my own horn on this, but the work ethic on me being a shop owner and the drive of giving you guys like, nah, we're gonna take that next tattoo, we're gonna take that next walk in, no matter what time it is, we're gonna take that next tattoo that
Yeah,
comes
we
in
was
because
young and
we're paying
hungry.
the
We was
bills.
hungry.
I remember I used to tell y'all all the time, we here until we here
Yeah.
until the last person leaves this
Yep.
bitch,
Yep.
then we'll be out. Let's make this money, let's get this money, and then tomorrow's
hmm
another day.
Yep.
That's why we had to open up at 2 in the afternoon on the following day.
hmm
But at the end of it all, what did you pick up from working there, and then what happened to transition into opening up your own shop?
I actually ended up once they didn't renew the lease there, I went and I was working for myself for a little bit, and then I went and just working there really gave me motivation to like keep on at it. You know what I'm saying? Um, not to. I mean, even though you didn't tattoo, you still had the balls and the audacity to open up a tattoo shop. Without knowing much about it, you got involved selling inks, and selling other supplies. That's stepping out of your own comfort zone to make something happen. You know what I'm saying? No matter what. And so with that, that's pretty much what I took is just you got to step out of your comfort zone and do what you got to do and just keep on at it. No matter what whether you don't know about it, you can learn about it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that kind of just applied that with everything after the fact of just keep on pushing and getting money because I don't mind. I'm a night owl anyway. I know I stay up all night, so that doesn't bother me. So if I'm gonna be up, I might as well be getting money and be comfortable doing it. So
Sure.
it's never a job, when you enjoy what you do. So with that being said, I just we moved on from Bully Juice. I was working for myself, and then just went on to working for someone else, which we ain't gonna say names, but I did a whole lot to help this person out, and you learn a lot more. And every time I go into another shop, you learn and you learn and you learn. What just you get to a point where you're tired of working for other people. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? And you got to take it into your own hands. If you can do it, you can. You can. If you can't, you can't. And I took the leap and I did it. And I was like, man, I don't ever want to work for nobody again. And that will let me pause on that. So we were at Bully Juice, we started my head tattoos, right?
Yes. Yeah. You had
So
nothing on
I
the
had
go.
no head tattoos, right? I got a full helmet now. So Red did them all, but that right there was when I started my dedication to never working for anyone else ever again or doing any other job ever again.
That's
I
interesting.
put myself in such a position to where corporate America would not accept me because now I got head tattoos.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I put myself in
Yep.
a box of like succeed or fail. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's an extreme.
Yeah.
That's a huge extreme because I knew deep down in my heart, I'm like, either I'm going to succeed at tattooing and it is going to be my entire life or not,
Wow.
you know? And so that's what was like really at that point when I started getting my head tattoo, I already knew deep down I was always going to have my own shit. I was going to do my own thing. I was never going to be told by anyone what I can and cannot do.
It's kind of like
Because
a reminder.
yeah, it's a reminder. It's a remembrance. It's a memorial piece. It's a motivator. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
people seeing, oh, holy Jesus, yeah, I'm not you. I'm different.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we're allowed to be different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So many people want to see everyone else's fucking drones. Like, oh, look at they're all the same. That's so cute. No, it's not.
Mm.
I'm different. You know what I mean? And I'm
Yeah.
always gonna be different. You know?
It's funny you say that because I did the same thing with the tattoo. And the first this here,
Mm-hmm.
I told my wife, I said, I got to get this done. And matter of fact, this was the ink that I was getting.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna put it on me
Yeah, yeah.
first,
Right.
right?
Try my own product.
But I knew where I was going with the logo,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, I got to see that every day because that's the path that we're gonna go down, and we're gonna try to make this shit work,
Right.
right? And it's crazy that you say that with starting the helmet and the head tattoos
Mm-hmm.
because that was your way of saying that's it from here. I
That's
got it.
it. I'm all the way in,
I'm
man.
all the way
I'm
in.
all the way in. I didn't dip a toe in. I'm all the way in, bro. I'm head
Wow.
first.
Yeah.
You know,
You
and
got
I
to
think,
have that reminder piece though.
yeah,
Because
absolutely.
you got to have something to look at every day and say, yo, we're still on the same course.
Yep, yep, absolutely. And I feel like one of the biggest people in my lives was my grandmother, who really, always encouraged me to be me. You know what I mean? And she always accepted me for me. And she knew I was wild. She knew I was crazy ever since I was a kid. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But she always just like, do what you love and keep at it. No matter what you do, just be the best you can. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, no, I'm not saying I'm the best. You know what I mean? But I'm on my path and I'm on my way to
You're
being one
happy.
of the best. And I'm happy at it. I'm
Yeah.
happy with it and I'm content. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
most people, you can divide them up in a couple different categories. You make hella money, but you can never spend it. You make hella money and your wife spends it and you work on the, you know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Or you got a shit job and you get shit pay, you know what I'm saying? So you're still trying hard to get that next pay.
hmm.
So we all got our own problems and our own issues, you know what I'm saying? How content are you with what you're doing though?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So like I could work 60, 70 hours a week. I could get paid $150,000 a year, but I can't ever spend it.
Yeah.
I got nobody to hang out with because I'm always working. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what is it? So that money makes me happy, but not really.
Mm,
You know what I mean? Then you got the person who's, person who we can relate to more or less. I know I can, is the person who's living check to check. The job is all right. Wish I could get something better. Nah, 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 nah. But it's check to check. Now, I relate more to that because that's how I feel. I get paid by day.
hmm.
I don't get paid by corporate America.
Sure.
I can't count on a check. I gotta hustle, and I gotta make sure I'm only as good as my last tattoo, right? Because when I go to post it in today's social media world,
Yeah.
I'm only that good, right? They're only gonna remember your last tattoo, so you
Yeah.
got to stay on point,
Yeah.
And that remembrance is what keeps me going between my grandmother's remembrance, my head tattoos, and the love for my fiance that I have now and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That all keeps me going and keeps me grinding. just wanting to be a better artist and a better person. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
There's just scumbags in the world. It's just whatever. But you got everybody's got their lane. You know, learn your lane and stay in it. And if you're gonna do it all the way. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
that's
Do
good
it all the
advice.
way.
That's good advice. I'm always still trying to figure out what that work life balance, being happy, you know, because for most people, they were taught, you got to make money, right? Can't live
Mm-hmm.
without it,
Mm-hmm.
right? So, how much money do you want to make? How much do you want to dedicate to your craft,
Mm-hmm.
right? But then it comes to a point where money can't buy some shit,
No,
you know?
no,
And
definitely
as
can't.
much as you think that it can, it
Yeah.
really, really, really can't.
No.
I think the older we get, the more you start realizing that.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to be a millionaire. Everybody wants, a ton of money. Well, what the fuck are you gonna do with it?
Right.
Right? Most people don't even know what they're gonna do with money,
Exactly.
right? If they get it. Therefore,
You haven't been
they will
taught.
never
You
have
haven't
it.
been taught. First off, you don't get taught how to save money in life. You get taught consumerism through TVs,
Mm,
and you get taught how to spend money.
sure. Yeah.
That's it. So then you got just a dog chasing his tail.
Yeah.
I'm super content because I put out more. My tattoo could touch your whole life and change your whole way of thinking in one tattoo.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Let's go with memorial tattoos. Those are remembrances of people who you lost. You know what I mean? People come in and get a memorial tattoo all the time. Oh, I want to get a name and a date. And that's all fine and good. Why don't you get something that connects you?
Hmm. Yeah.
The connection. In this world, what do we strive for? Connections with people. Wife, kids, family, connection. When you lose that, what do you need? A connection,
Mm.
right? So do something more personal. Say you pass away, your sons. What did they do with you? You all watch baseball together and stickball and this and that. So that's what they would get, do something that connects you.
Mm.
You know what I mean? Tattoos, I always joke around. I tell people, I do tattoos to get people laid. You go out there, you look good with a fresh tattoo, you might get a piece. You know what I'm saying? Male or female. So that's on
Okay.
the other side of things.
Sure. Sure.
So tattoos really do change people.
Yeah.
Some kid who's not so confident gets a tattoo, made it through. You know what I'm saying? Overcame his little thing in his mind or whatever was important to him.
Yeah.
Now he walks out the shop feeling like he just fucking lifted a 500-pound fucking bench press. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, bro. You know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, I forget how important tattoos are to people.
Yeah.
So it's that meaning and that love and for that on top of the art that keeps me satisfied. Yeah,
Mm.
money pays my bills, money allows me to do stuff or whatever, but it's the actual satisfaction after the fact
Yeah.
that that is gratifying. You know what I'm saying?
And that gives you a different purpose of work.
Hmm. Absolutely,
You
and
know,
that's
now
keeps me
you're not
pushing.
working for money. You're working to see what that person's reaction is
Hmm.
after
Hmm.
you're done getting
Oh
that.
yeah. Oh, you've seen it. You see how
Oh,
people look in the
absolutely,
mirror and they're
absolutely,
just like, "Oh my god,
absolutely.
this is far beyond what I could have imagined." You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? And then when
yes,
you blow somebody's mind like that,
yeah,
you invoke that emotion in them. Now you've got that connection.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Now you've got that connection.
It's crazy because there was no better feeling than seeing somebody look in the mirror
Mhm.
after they got that nice green soap on them, wet
Mhm.
down,
Yep.
and everything is just bright and vibrant. And they're like, oh my God, I never thought it would even be anything near what it looks like.
Mhm.
And there
Absolutely.
you just exceeded their expectations. One of the few industries that you could exceed somebody's expectation and make a friend for life,
Absolutely.
because after that tattoo is done, either one, it becomes more tattoos, or
Mhm.
it becomes somebody who they've sent to you,
Right.
and
Referrals.
and you're still connected with that person because they look at that tattoo every day and it's like, hey, I'm thinking about getting a tattoo. Oh, go to my guy. Look,
Mhm.
you know, yeah, it's one of those industries, man, where the satisfaction and the joy of making people feel good
Mhm.
is
Absolutely.
that's worth more sometimes than money, you
Absolutely.
know. So with that being said, dive into the shop a little bit, man. What you got going on over there? Where's it located?
So after working with
How
with
did you how did you put the ink to the paper to go ahead and sign that lease and get the shit started?
oh man. Um once I knew I wasn't gonna work for nobody, I had left that other shop or whatever, and we're just shop hunting, shop hunting, shop hunting, shop hunting. And we come across this place. It's on the corner of one of the busiest intersections, corner of 301 and 60. One of the biggest intersections, most people coming through there, coming in and out of Brandon, in and out of Tampa, in and out of freaking Riverview. You know what I mean? So we just happened to come across it and check it out. I go talk to the landlord. Excuse me. I go talk to the landlord, and he goes, "Oh yeah, I got a nice little space around here on the 60 side." I said, "No, no, 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 no. I want to see this side, this one over here on the 301 side. My people are all gonna come from 301. I'm gonna have to go all the way around or whatever the case may be."
Sure.
So there was a 900 square foot spot that he was talking about on that one side, on the 60 side. The one he's like, "Oh, you want to be over here?" He's like, "Well, what do you plan on doing?" I said, "Well, I'm trying to open a tattoo shop." He's like, "Oh, tattoos. Oh, okay. Da, da, da." So I'm like, "Well, why do you say that?" He's like, "Well, I had a couple guys that only lasted a year each, open up on that other side on 60 where I was just about to take you over there." I said, "Oh, so you was about to take me over there with the bad side, with the juju over there, bad juju over there. Nah, I want this over here, bro. I don't want that shit over there."
Yeah.
So he's like, "All right, this is a little bit bigger, you know what I'm saying? It's almost 1,300 square feet, da 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 da." We get through all the logistics of it. I walk in there and I'm like, "Yo, this is perfect. This is perfect."
It hit you right when you walked in.
Right. I just knew. I was like, and when you can just see it. I
Mhm.
walked in, I could see the counter over here. I could see this over there. It was like immediate. Like I knew exactly how this place was supposed to look.
Sure.
So took about 4 months to get it going. Um, I mean, at this time, I didn't have all the money to get it going. I was looking for personal private investors. I was looking for. I was working. I was actually Ubering and I was tattooing at the house.
Mm.
So I was doing getting it in, you know what I'm saying? I was
But you
there.
already had the spot locked down?
Yeah, I had the spot locked down and everything. And now, I had to like, okay, well shit, now I gotta get the rest of this money ready because I know how I want to lay everything out. Da, da, da,
Mm.
I've got stuff already picked out, ready to go. So it's like, all right, well, I need more flow. So I had to get my hustle on hard, 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 hard body. So I ended up coming across um some personal loans ended up going through. Um We got the money, doing this, doing that, put it all together, open it up in September, right before the tattoo convention.
Mm.
And this thing was great, yo. Everybody's walking in, is like, bro, this is amazing. Like, you would not expect this gem to be in this haystack. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you never would have known. Like, I've even had people tell me like this is the best little hidden place ever. You know what I mean? Like, well, I ain't trying to be hidden.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, tell your friends. You know what I mean?
Tell your friends.
So, but yeah, I mean, you look at the outside. You've been over there. You've seen it. It's just kind of plain Jane or whatever. But then you walk in, and it's like wow, it's like a whole nother world. You know what I'm saying? But my vision was never to have just your ordinary tattoo shop. I didn't want to just black and white checkerboard bullshit. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yep.
Like,
Yep. Yep.
so I wanted something completely different, completely me. So I all black floors, like kind of like tattoo and salon style almost. You know what I'm saying? Where's that comfiness, that vibe? You know what I'm saying? You walk in,
Mhm.
you feel like, okay, cool. I can kind of hang out here for a little bit. You know what I'm
Sure.
saying? Without having a problem. So that's the type of vibe we go for, and we went in. It was. I didn't start off by myself. I had a couple guys with me. Um, things ended up going the way they did, and people went their own ways or whatever. So we're still, still standing strong. Little over 3 years later now. So
Nice.
you know
Nice.
what I mean?
So now at the tattoo shop, strictly tattoos only, doing piercings, no piercings.
No, to hell with those piercings.
Okay.
I mean, not to hell with piercings, but honestly, it's not. I don't do them, so it's not really worth my time to get involved with all of that. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I'm trying to stay focused on what I do in my craft and stay in my lane, which is tattooing.
Sure.
Um,
I
but
might need to go ahead and get my certification, dust that thing off. Go ahead. Hey man, the piercer is here Friday night, Saturday night. That's it. If you ain't here Friday night or Saturday night, man, you ain't getting poked.
right, right, right. But yeah, man, it's good. Like right now I don't have any other artists with me right now. So I've been holding it down by myself, but it's hard to come across good artists that are
Yeah.
dedicated and uh
They're a represent.
anchored. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
Because a lot of artists are gypsies, or they want to work on their own time, or whatever the case may be. So like I don't go out of my way looking for other people. If they come by to see about working for me or with me, then that's cool or whatever. I definitely got spots available, but I'm just the level of dedication I have. I come across very like a handful of other tattoo artists that have this level of dedication that I personally know.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So with that, it's just like, a lot of people don't want to take any constructive criticism.
Mm,
Oh well, you're a young artist and you're starting out. Do this, do that, whatever, whatever. Oh well, I already know what I'm doing, or this or that. I'm just gonna do it at the house. But it's all fine and good. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I know great, phenomenal artists that work from home.
hmm.
And you would never know that work came out of a house. You
Sure.
know what I'm saying?
Sure.
But it's not about the location. It's about, I mean, it is about the location because, you don't want to go to nobody dirty and all that. But it's just that stigma, you know what I'm saying,
Hmm.
is a difference
It's a
there.
house tattoo.
Yeah, house tattoo, blah, blah, blah. But like, that's just what it boils down to. This industry is very, it can be very cutthroat. Your name is all you got.
Hmm.
If people out there slandering your name, that's it. You're only as good as your last tattoo. So if somebody sees a jacked up tattoo, they ain't finna go to you. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So,
Yeah.
but staying steady and proficient. And nowadays, you got to do a lot of social media stuff. Everybody's face deep in their phones all the time. So
True.
that's what I stay working on. To keep to keep business coming in. And just I love the road.
Hmm.
Tattooing on the road is what I love the most, though. I would say tattoo conventions.
Yeah. So that's where we were gonna go. So with that being said, Tampa convention's coming up this week,
Yeah,
this
yeah, it's actually
weekend,
coming up this weekend, next weekend.
right?
Y'all in the area, come out to Tampa and to the convention center down in Channel Side. It'll be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, so it'll be a good time. It's like over a couple hundred artists will be there from all over the country, some from all over the world. You never know what you're going to come across. Uh,
What's
it,
the vibe at one of these tattoo
oh my
conventions?
goodness, it is just free.
Mm.
So like I've been to tattoo conventions and there are people getting dressed up to just because they can. You know what I'm saying? Come in, I've seen people, a whole family full of like uh creepy hacking murderers, you know what I'm saying? Clowns running through the thing, kids on skateboards, you know what I'm saying? Hanging out, people drinking and chilling, getting tattooed. Then you've got these like sideshows. Remember how the circus used to do sideshows?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
So
Like the
tattoo conventions
suspensions and
have
all
done the
that.
sideshows with the suspensions and everything. So
Mm.
you've got suspensions, you've got like sword swallowers, you got different types of things that you don't normally see. You know what I'm saying? So it brings the kinkier, freakier, freer side of people out. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So
Is it a
it's
moneymaker?
yeah. Well, you know what? When Tampa, when I do Tampa, I just like to showcase work.
Okay.
It's because I'm not from Tampa, but I'm from Tampa. So I want to showcase my work, to other people in Tampa who may not know me or have heard of my shop or whatever. You know what I mean?
So you're not actually tattooing.
I'm
Oh,
tattooing, but
you're tattooing,
I'm
but
just
you're
showing off basically.
okay. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
doing these big, beautiful pieces that I can take my time with and
yeah.
just really show off the skill set.
Okay, okay.
So with that, I usually take, friends and clients that I have already and take them out there and let's go do something cool, hook them up,
Nice.
because that's the whole thing is it's a buildup of clientele and networking, you know.
Sure.
Um, as you know, without networking, you don't really got much. You know what I'm saying?
It's
So
true.
that's the biggest thing to me. Now, when I go out abroad, you know what I'm saying? So when I go to like the following weekend, I'm going to Oklahoma. So I go to Oklahoma, then I'll be, you know, tattooing and setting up and for a different way. You know what I mean? Whereas out here, I'm promoting for my business.
Got it. Got it. So when you go abroad,
Hmm.
right? Now you're kind of honing in and focusing in on just money making.
Yeah, yeah, money making and art. I personally like kind of like to talk to people and feel their vibe as well. So, a convention, you got people walking up and down. It's an aisle. I'm sitting on this side with my booth, usually 10 by 10, another person on the other side. So everybody's got their thing, right? So people are walking up to usually check out your portfolio, the books, the artwork, and all that. And then they stop at you.
Mm,
They talk to you, you know. they're trying to see what you how good are you? Something obviously caught their eye, their attention, you know. But me, I have to personally say, like, I'm not going to sit here and take every tattoo or any tattoo that walks up to me.
Sure.
I'm not trying to sit here and be doing, and it's no offense to those who get these style of tattoos, but I'm not trying to sit at a convention and do infinity tattoos and little stuff like that. I'm trying to do something more creative, more artistically pleasing to the eye. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
Actual piece of art. So sometimes I just talk to people to talk to them, and then other times I'm like, oh, you got a badass piece.
mm,
You know what I'm saying? Let's talk. You know what I'm saying?
right.
So,
That's awesome, man. So anybody that goes can just get tatted up
hmm
as
hmm
long as you know that that person is not booked for the.
right. Some people are already come booked, ready to go, and other people get booked up beforehand.
Now,
So
have you entered any pieces in any of the competitions or anything?
yes, I actually entered a piece 2 years ago at the Tampa convention and actually won second place, best overall female.
Nice.
Yeah, so
Best overall female for the.
for
It
the
was
convention,
it a female art piece or was
well,
it
it's an actual
a person?
woman with all the like. She had the best, second best work all over from top to bottom. You know what I mean?
Nice.
So we had this like large Polynesian custom style thing going on for her. She's Hawaiian. So it came out pretty dope. Got second place for it. So
That's
real
awesome.
happy about that, man.
What is the so here goes a tough question, right? What when somebody comes in with a piece and it's not up your alley, how does one not just want to tattoo everything and feel they can tackle it and step back and say, I might not be the one for that? Is that in the tattoo industry for tattoo artists, can pride sometimes take too much um is it is pride a big deal when it comes to just saying, look, man, I might not be able to nail that on the head?
Mhm.
Because when you put a piece together, you want to be able to nail it,
Right.
right? There's no other outcome.
I think first things first. That's just being honest with yourself. Simple as that. If I come across something that I'm like, I don't think I can do that, or that's not up my alley, or that's not my style, I'll be honest. I'll let people know.
Mm,
I'll let people know. I'll be like, honestly, that's not really my style. I don't normally do this kind of thing. Um, After that, the decision is on you. You have all the facts now. You know what I'm saying? Like, you
whether or
decide
not.
you want to keep going, then we'll keep going. And I mean, I I don't allow my pride to get in the way of things. I make mistakes and I'm human. You know, I wish more people understood that.
Mm,
You know, as a tattoo artist, yeah, you're supposed to be perfect. Yeah, you're supposed to be a fucking robot. You know what I'm saying? Make sure it's perfect. But we're not. We all have
yeah,
our days.
yeah.
You know,
It's one of those things where
but you got to be honest with
you
yourself.
got to be honest
You
with
got to be
yourself.
honest because if you don't tell that person and you just go about it anyway and you fuck it up, that's your name.
Yeah,
That's your name.
yeah.
All you got is your name.
There is
Like,
no coming. There is
there's
no
no
coming
coming back
back
from
from that,
that.
right?
They're gonna go on to the next person and be like, hey, so and so jacked me all up. Uh,
Yeah.
can you cover it? And now you end up, you know, on a cover up page on somebody else's thing. You know what I mean?
Or if
So
it's just not able to be covered up. I
or
mean,
that too. It's like, he jacked me up so bad. It's whatever, this, or that. But
so that's a good question. Can anything be covered up for the most part?
uh for the most part, with the right design, yes. I definitely believe that almost anything can be covered up. There are new techniques and different techniques that are being worked on. Um, some artists have proven it. So like they've got this one where like you can do all black out everything. You can black out the whole thing,
Hmm.
let it all heal up, and then go back over it with a full on design of some sort with color and this and that. But this is again a technique that you would have to be really good at
On a just a black piece.
on a black piece. Yeah. So you'd have to like, that's the only thing I've seen really like when people can't come up with anything else
Hmm.
and just black it all the way out, all the way, and then put a whole new design on top of it
Wow.
with color so that the color can sit on top of it. Now, it may or may not take a couple of sessions or whatever, but this is one of the only, like, other than lasering or regular tattoo cover up, that I've seen that involves a more serious technique. You know what I'm saying? Or such a technique to such a degree. You know what I
Sure.
mean?
Now
So
on the flip side of that, have you seen any type of successful tattoo removal?
yes,
You
yes,
have.
yeah, yeah. I mean, laser removal does work. It does change the skin though, the texture of the skin. So like, uh, prime example, I've had a guy. He goes and he got started getting lasered on his arm. Well, we had already started something on his arm. He went go get lasered, thinking that it was going to help later on.
Mm.
Well, it just made it a bit tougher to actually work with. So don't go jumping the gun. When it comes to, all right, I'm gonna go get a laser, then I'll get some tattoo, and then like, don't do that. Like, if you already have an artist and they've already started the cover up and you're already in the process, trust your artist. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Definitely trust your artist. Um, I learned how to do cover ups from one of my mentors, and that dude can he covered black tattoo with white ink. I don't know how the fuck he does it, but he did it. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like, and it's just the technique is what it boils down to. You know, same person who tattoos on lighter skin or fairer skin, can't tattoo on darker skin or brown skin. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Um, they are different. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? They are different. So with that, it's just like you got to know which way, how to change your technique up. You know what I'm saying? So like with darker skin, you gotta let the tattoo breathe more. So you don't put as much ink in, you leave like a negative space. With
Mm.
darker skin or with lighter skin, you can pack the shit out of color at it. You know what I mean? And it'd be super, super bright.
Mm.
So it's just a matter of different techniques. Not every technique works for everybody.
Nice. Nice. So you at the shop you're also you still are selling some merchandise,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right?
I got sullen t-shirts that I sell. I'm working on my own clothing line actually right now. I've got some great organic aftercare. Um, trust and believe in it like 110%. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
It's great. Then we've also got, as you can see, what I'm saying, I got my nice glossy gleaming beard going here. It's not lined up right now, but it's still shiny, it's still thick. You know what I'm saying? I got some beard balm, some beard oil, beard combs, things like that, things that I'm into. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Um, so you don't sell nothing you don't know about. So
Yeah.
that's why I try to stay stuff that I know about.
Did the selling because you were doing selling you had a partnership with selling to sell merch at the
Hmm.
store, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So with that, did that give you the inspiration to want to do your own clothing line?
Honestly, clothing line has been the only thing since I was a kid that I knew I wanted to have.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So that's obviously still in the works and everything, but that's the only thing that I knew I wanted. And that was way before Sullen. But Sullen is a good inspiration to see, like, I'll use a Sullen shirt or whatever, and I'll take it to my t-shirt people and I'll be like, listen, so here's my design, here's the way I want it, here's the closest thing that I have
Mm.
that I can show you,
Example.
so that we can make it look as best as we can. And that's one of the hardest things I was finding people to do the vectoring for you. You know what I mean? Um, Illustrator is a whole nother program. Photoshop, as whereas I'm okay with it, I'm not phenomenal with it. You know what I mean? So I usually have to like outsource, and that's the hard part is having that outsource.
Yeah.
So, but that's been the biggest problem is just making sure to find the right kind of guys with the right kind of capabilities doing the work that you need done.
Yeah. I
But
looked at some t-shirt equipment. Damn, that shit's expensive, bro. I mean,
it
to get the
sure is.
real deal shit,
Yeah.
because if you're gonna get into something, like I tell everybody, me personally, I'm one to I gotta buy the best shit right off the bat,
Hmm.
right? I'm not learning on the Mickey Mouse shit because by the time you outgrow that, now you got to buy some other shit, and then you
Yep.
got to work on that.
Yeah.
So you just go straight to the top. Damn, I looked at some laser printing, um, silk screening,
I'm talking thousands,
fucking thousands,
thousands on
talking like
thousands.
50, 60, $80,000 for
They
shit.
have
And I'm
a they
like,
have a this t-shirt machine, sublimation, direct to garment type thing,
yep,
and it's like a 15 to 30,000 just for the machine itself.
yeah.
But this machine puts out amazing work. Well, I got a lady I mess with now, Big Frog. They're amazing. They got great great designs, great materials. It's just everything is so good. So that's what I'm rocking with right now as far as like printing out my shirts and everything.
So
So
you'll take them a design and then they'll be able to get it
yeah,
right
they'll go
off.
ahead and vectorize it and everything, and sit down with me and actually go over the design and pull it out, show me the example, put it all together, let me know how it's going to set and everything. So
Laser or silk screen?
well, it's depending on the shirt that I'm doing will depict on whether it's going to be lasered, silkscreen, or DTG,
Okay.
direct to garment. So
Yep. Yep. Yep.
um, but this is all stems from, like I said, back in school, high school, when I was going to graphics, when I was in graphics class.
Yeah.
Learned how we back then we also learned how to make silk screens and print out T-shirts and stuff like that. So this is a long buildup of creativeness, getting to where I need to be, to where I've got the right people and the right team to making it happen. So it's been a slow process, but anything that's worth it takes time.
Sure. It's
So
already built in the subconscious.
it's
So
already in the play. Like, I've got designs for days that I haven't even put out. I don't even show people
yeah,
because I'm waiting to put them on T-shirts. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel like tattoo shops and clothing design, because when you say you want to design clothing, most of it is it really going to stem from just more t-shirt work?
it's going to be more T-shirt work. I mean, T-shirts, hats, women's tanks, V-necks, things like that. I mean, it may stem off and grow into, who knows, sweatpants and
Yeah,
whole jogging suits or whatever the case may be. But it's just a matter. It's just starting off somewhere, man.
yeah.
Just starting off somewhere.
I feel like it goes hand in hand because as a being in a tattoo shop and being around all that creative artwork that's always flying around, you know, I remember when we used to be like, yo, that'd be dope on a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And then
Mm-hmm.
that's what so you're dealing with that every single day.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
oh man, as you're Googling images to help somebody, then you're like pinning shit because you're like, yo, that shit would look crazy on a shirt.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that shit goes hand in hand.
Yeah, you just so many ideas bouncing around.
Yeah.
So many ideas all the way through and through.
Where does the inspiration continue to keep flowing from? Because I know as you get deep into this, there's like I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs, you got to continue to be different, or where the work and the ideas just don't become so repetitive, right? So you're constantly trying to change
That
things
is the
up and stay
biggest problem in
fresh.
this industry, is creating new and fresh ideas without repeating them and recycling them and repeating them and recycling. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, biggest thing right now, one of the biggest things, clocks. Everybody feels like they gotta have a damn clock. I'm so over clocks, man. Like,
Red was
eh,
doing clocks back in
and that's just what I'm
fucking,
saying. Like, it's been building up forever. Then you got between clocks and lions. I'm like, oh man, I can't go wrong. But like, basically, what it boils down to is your style. I've got my own style of doing things. You got your own style of doing things. Even if we're tattooers, we tattoo the same image. It's got a style to it.
sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The only way it doesn't have a style to it is if it's like photorealism to the point of like almost being photoshopped. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's when you're like, well,
That's
unless you
crazy.
know that artist for what they're known for,
Yeah.
you're gonna be like, I don't know who did that, but that's phenomenal either
Yeah,
way.
yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? But when
yeah.
you have your own definitive style of doing something, that's different. you know. So anytime I do a lion, I do a clock, a pocket watch, whatever, is always going to be that new style, the evolution of the style.
Mm,
Um, I've done Benjamin Franklin, I don't know how many times, but every time I do them, it gets better and better and better, and it's better than the last or different than the last. You know what I mean?
mm,
So you could do something a million times, it's not going to be the exact same a million times.
sure.
You
Now
know,
putting the inspiration on paper though, when you're trying to come up with ideas.
got to dig deep into that abyss that is the back of my mind, man. Like,
Yeah,
try to reach deep down and find out another style or another way of doing it. Like, you know,
because a lot of times, a person will come into a tattoo shop. They kind of know what they want, or let's just say they don't know what they want, but they don't want that
that's my favorite.
clip art.
That's my favorite.
They don't want that Google image. They want you to come up with something. You know, how do you
I need
start that creative process when somebody comes and says, "Yo, this is what I'm looking for"?
as long as you come in with this is what I'm looking for, I can work with you. Like, okay, I take your idea, my brain starts putting it together automatically. As soon as you start saying what you want,
Mm,
my brain is painting it and putting it together and arranging it and setting it up in my mind. You know what I
sure.
mean? So, you know, a lot of people aren't visual, aren't creative or whatever. So that's what I'm here for, you know?
Right.
Um, so we just try to take it and remember how important it is to the person and just be as creative as you can get or as they'll let you, some people are really nitpicky, other people don't care as long as it looks good, and then and that's all fine and good, but then you get those ones that are like, oh come on, just want to get something, man, I didn't really think about it, or just you don't want to do something, like, the amount of things I can put on you, right, bro? Like, do you really want me to just put whatever?
Sure.
So, and I'm an
Sure.
asshole, I kind of like, I straight up tell people, I'll use this example every single time, like, I could put two girls eating each other out on you.
Mm.
And they were like, oh, no, no, no. Well, then tell me what you want.
Right. Right.
I want
Right.
a tattoo, but I don't know what I want. Just put whatever. No, you're really going to think that. You're going to rethink that altogether. You'll
Damn.
be like, okay, no, this dude he's serious. Maybe I shouldn't have came and talked so stupid or like without thinking. You know what I mean? Like,
That's
bro, think
funny.
about something. At least give me something to go off of.
Yeah.
So,
So, Ro, sum it up for us like this. The show is based on entrepreneurs, you know, people who want to go out there, find their way, might be a little nervous or scared about going and just jumping into owning their own business.
do it.
What could you tell people listening, that helped you get over one hurdle to the next?
Um, just do it, man. Just do it. You've got your whole life ahead of you. Just do it, because without the experience, you don't know where you're going. You don't know what you're doing, and you can't. You can Google and you can research and you can go to school or whatever, but you don't get until you get that hands-on experience. You're not doing it. You can tell yourself you want to do something till you're blue in the face, but until you actually get off your ass and go do it and stick with it, you know, that's two of the biggest things I guess I've come across. Is one is just getting up and doing it, not being lazy and just staying motivated. Just get up and do it and try some things, like, and just get your hands dirty. You know what I mean? Jump all in, because if you don't succeed, you know what? You didn't fail.
Mm,
You didn't fail. You just learned how to not fall on your face next time.
right.
You see what I'm saying? And if you do next time, then it's going to be from a different reason. Because it's from the same reason, then you probably ain't doing something right then now. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
So, um,
There's
don't do anything insanely because you keep doing it over and over and over again, expecting it different. It's insane.
mhm.
You have to know and understand that if you're doing something and it's not working out, leave it alone. Try something else, or rearrange it and try something else. You know what I'm saying? Because
Within the same realm of what you're
yeah,
trying
yeah,
to
be
accomplish.
consistent, yo. At least consistently be trying to do better and be better. You know what I'm saying? As a kid, I really thought it was me against the world. As a man, I realized it's me against me.
Mm,
I'm my worst critic. I'm my worst enemy, but I'm also my biggest fan, and I have to maintain that. And that's one of the only things that can keep me going some days. You know what I'm saying? Is just knowing that I have to keep on getting it. There's no room for failure. You know what I'm saying? Everything is an experience, everything is a lesson.
mm,
Lessons get taught differently in life than they do in school. You know what I mean?
sure.
Sometimes it slaps you in the face, sometimes you fall on your face, and sometimes the sun shines on your face. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So it just depends. But consistency, dedication, that's the key, man. That's the key, real
Mm.
talk.
The L's are not L's for a loss.
No, it's
They're
not.
lessons.
They're lessons. They're
The L
lessons. They're n-
stands
they're
for
not they're
lesson.
not losses. They're not failures, man. The only time you ever fail is when you fall and you don't get up and you quit.
And you quit.
That's it. Simple as that. You
Yeah.
know.
That's what's up, man. So, yo, for people who are looking for a tattoo inspiration, shout out a couple of artists that you look at, so that way that are deep professionally into the game on the next
Oh man.
stratosphere level.
For me, I'd have to say my biggest motivators are Pooch. That's spelled Poch. He's out of the Bronx, but he's actually in California right now. He's a realistic artist out of this world, man.
Mm,
His techniques, out of this world. Him as a 20-year artist, he's still telling me about new techniques he's learning.
Mm,
And I'm half that time that he's been tattooing.
sure.
And I'm still like, oh shit, well, you put me on game prior to my 20 years. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So maybe I can be better in 10 years
Yeah, you
than
got
you
me
are
10
now. You
years
see
in
what I'm
there.
saying?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it all
yeah.
adds up. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's a big influence of mine. Nico Hurtado. He's another big influence. He does realism, but he's a painter.
Yeah,
So like his painting into his tattooing, it's insane.
yeah.
Steve Butcher, he's actually went to art school. You know, all the basketball, nasty basketball detailed tattoos you see nowadays.
Okay,
A lot of those are him,
okay.
like Kobe Bryant, Jordan,
Yeah.
like the detail, the sweat trickling down.
Yeah,
Like
the realism
this
that
dude
they're
is
coming with now.
amazing. Like
Yeah.
I'm talking like he's a damn copy machine, you know. Um, that's my thing though. I like realistic type of work. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really into the big cartoony type stuff. You know, shout out to everybody who likes that. But Tattoo Red right here in Tampa. It's a fucking beast when it comes to black and gray and lettering, yo. So I stay, you know, silently loving and hating on him, of course, you know, but he's it's like a little bit of competition as that's how I see it. Keep myself motivated. You know what I mean?
Sure, sure.
You know, I worked with Red. I know how he works. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And I just he has his own style, and
yeah.
I love his style. You know what I'm saying? Um,
He's like when I look at Red tattooing, and shout out to Red man if he ever gets to listen to this, but I picture it like a remember the old ink pens with the feathers?
mhm.
That's how I feel like he holds a tattoo machine.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah,
feather, real
yeah,
light,
yeah,
you
yeah.
know, just
Real,
yeah, yeah, just
swift and
real
swoop,
light,
but like
nothing
real
heavy,
elegant. Like
yeah,
yeah,
not digging,
yeah, yeah,
just kind of like feathering shit off. That's crazy.
yeah. Then there's several artists that I like on the more darker side of things. You know what I'm saying? Um, so that would be my other passion. I'm like dark evil art. You know what I'm saying? I like that weird, creepy stuff. So,
Sure.
but yeah, man, realism, dark art, you know, stuff like that. That's what I draw to. Like Halloween is my favorite month. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. How do everybody get a hold of you? What's your socials? Where
um,
can they look your stuff up?
on Ro Vega tattoos on Instagram, all together, no spaces, no nothing. ROVEGA tattoos. Um, Facebook, Ro Vega, you know, ROVEGA. And we got the Snapchat too, so you can find that out too. So uh
That's what's up, man.
but yeah, we've got the shop page, Enliven Tattoos on Facebook, Enliven Tattoos on Instagram. Anybody want to check it all out, more than welcome to.
Spell that out just in case.
Enliven, Enliven Tattoos and Apparel, LLC. So we over on the corner of 301 and 60, and we're good to go.
That's what's up. My boy Vance on here. I've been looking at the Facebook Live.
Oh, you got comments and
My
Facebook Lives and
my
everything?
boy Vance was says shout out, what up, fellas? Rose killing them with the amazing work.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, man. So, yo, I definitely appreciate you stopping by, man, and doing this.
Oh no,
Thank you
thank you for having me.
for coming into the building and getting this interview done. It's good to see every single person that started out at the Bully Juice Foundation
Mm-hmm.
are all still out there,
Oh yeah.
still
Oh
doing
yeah.
their
Still
thing,
hungry.
man. Still doing
Still
their
hungry
thing.
as hell, man. So
You
that
know,
ain't never gonna change.
that's what's up, man. Well, yo, to my entrepreneurs, man, hope you're listening. Grind out. It's never easy. It is work, dedication, and you got to be passionate about what you do.
Yes.
And just know success will come. You just gotta stay
Stay
putting in
on
the
it.
work.
Stay on it, man.
All
Stay
right.
hungry.
Yo, bro, appreciate the love, man.
Not a
Thank you for
problem,
stopping
man. Thanks for
by.
having me, bro.
All right. We out of here.